Hey guys, this is vlog number 4 or number 5. I actually just left Starbucks. I am running a little bit late because I woke up a little bit too late. So I normally get to school by 7:50, 8 o'clock, but right now it's already 7:42. Right now it's already 7:42 and I'm still at Starbucks, so I'm running almost 20 minutes late. I asked my buddies on my Bay Area Cars Facebook page and my own timeline newsfeed, and they did give me some suggestions on what to talk about for my vlogs. And one that I can easily talk about is what cars I've driven during the time that I've had my license. If it's all the cars that my family has owned that I've driven, I'd have to say, and these are in no particular order, I've driven a Lexus RX 330 and a 350. Both cars were owned and driven by my mom, but I drive them sometime when I don't want to drive my own car to, not waste gas. I've driven I believe it's an early 2000 Acura TL. And then I've driven a Mercedes C, I believe it's a 250 or 300. It's one of those very old models. And from the past 2 years, I've driven a 2006 Lotus Elise, and that car is by far the very, I don't even know if it's a word, but the very funnest car in terms of NA. I mean, it was NA, so for it to be that quick was very surprising. It's because the entire body was stripped, and the way how the car was set up, you pretty much could take it onto the track from the factory. I mean, if you're taller than 5'7" and a half, which I'm 5'7" and a half, you'd have a very hard time actually of getting in and out of the car, because right when you open the door, there's like this plastic piece that sticks out, and you have to lift your leg basically over it and then down again, because that's literally how low the car was. So you'd have to lift both of your legs up and down to get into the car, and even then, when you get in, it's like a cockpit. For those of you who have driven or owned Miatas, it's basically as small and as fit as a Miata, except just a tiny bit bigger. So you can basically imagine that a Miata is basically a non-track preps Lotus, but a Lotus just has better performance all around. The Lotus is definitely a little bit quicker than the Miata, and the handling of the Lotus is much better. And when I took the Lotus onto the highway, actually, I hit 70 even before I got onto the highway itself. And I didn't even go wide open throttle on the on-ramp to the highway. I hit 70 like before we had to merge in on the highway. That's how quick it was. That's how lightweight it was. But other than the Lotus, I've also driven the I believe it's 2012 2012 WRX and the 2010 STI. And both cars, even just the WRX, the reason why I want to get one of them is because, one, it's turbo, and I've never ever owned, I've never owned a turbo car before. And two, even for a sedan, it is pretty damn fast. And the fact that when I'm going through turns, I don't feel the G-force as much for both the STI and the WRX. I believe I took the STI onto a highway, and I was, at one point, I was already, I was hitting the rev limiter, and I had started in second gear because I was on the on-ramp to a highway, and I basically hit like 80 to 90 when I was in fourth gear. That was the first time I ever took a Subaru for a test drive, so that was, I believe, it was the STI. And then the second time when I went to test drive a WRX, I was on San Tomas Expressway, and I was in third gear, not even redlining it. I was shifting at around 5,000 RPM, so turbo kicked in for 2,000 RPMs. And by the time I had reached third gear, I was already at 80 miles per hour. That's what made me set on getting a Subaru WRX for my next car, because one, I'll need the space in the future because I am majoring in film, so all the equipment I have to carry, so like, even though the hatch does have more space, I can always, put down the rear seats in the sedan to allow myself to have more space for my equipment. And okay. Sorry, I was trying to figure out who had the green light. But anyways, so yeah, I want either the WRX or the STI, depending on how much the car is and depending on how much I have to pay for insurance. And after that, I test drove a Miata, and the reason why I was able to compare that with the Lotus is because I felt like I was in the Lotus a little bit when I was test driving the Miata. And the Miata isn't that quick of a car, but it is very lightweight, and this female's like tailgating my ass, but I don't really care. But yeah, the Miata is very quick. It can handle, like, I brought her into a corner, and it basically nailed it without, I mean, of course I didn't really, go all out because I had the salesman with me in the car, but if I was able to, that car would have been able to nail a turn like really well, and I wanted to do it, but I didn't want to scare the salesperson. I've also driven a Mazda 6. That car wasn't fun at all because, I mean, that car's made basically for gas economy purposes. So I didn't really have fun with that car, so we move on from that car, and the next one that I drove was actually an E55, or 2004. Never mind, that was a guy who was tailgating me in an RSX. But the next car I drove was a Mercedes E55 AMG 2004, actually. And that car was a little weird to me because out of all the cars that I've driven before, that car had very heavy steering. Both the brakes and the gas pedal were actually quite heavy. I had to use a little bit of strength to actually push the gas pedal. But in terms of handling and performance, the engine is amazing, and I'm guessing that's why. No, I know that's why the price for those are so high. because the engine is just superb. I brought it up to 90 actually on the highway without even making it work to get to 90 miles per hour. Because as soon as I saw that I hit 90, I was like, oh my, I have to slow down, because I didn't know if there was gonna be any cops. So I hit 90 like just for a second, and then I slowed it back down to 65. And during that time, the exhaust sounded incredible. But then Mercedes actually had to have a bit of wheel alignment done, so it felt a little weird having to hold the steering wheel a little sideways. But overall, would I get the car? Yes, but I don't have the money to pay for insurance and gas. So yeah. And then I also have driven a Mini Cooper S, and that car felt exactly like the Lotus. Gear shifter, everything was very crisp, very precise. The way how you sat in the Mini Cooper also felt the same as the Lotus. And as soon as the supercharger engaged, when you were actually in the power range and giving at least 50% throttle, you feel the car just shoot out, and the supercharger would go off. Took it around the neighborhood, onto the highway, and that car was just simply amazing. I honestly would get one just for a daily driver, because one, I believe that it is a gas saver, and two, while it could be a gas saver, it could also be a very fun car. I didn't know why in the past why people get Mini Cooper, especially the S model, but now I definitely know. Handling was awesome. The engine speed, or the acceleration speed, there we go. I'm trying to think of the term for it. The acceleration speed for the Cooper was absolutely amazing as well. Due to it being so light and having a supercharger on that super tiny engine. But yeah, overall that car is really fun. And after the Mini Cooper, or no, not afterwards, but at the very beginning, I had test driven a 2013 Mustang GT, and I honestly would definitely own one, but not anywhere like anytime soon. Like it would be a very nice daily driver for in the future, but not in the near future, maybe in like 5 or 10 years. And the reason why is because since I'm a Mustang fan, having 420 horsepower at the crank and 365 to 370 horsepower at the wheels, it's a little bit on the more of the fun side than the gas saving side. But honestly, if you're not going like 50 to 75% to even wide open throttle all the time, it could be a really good gas saving car, despite the fact that it has a V8. But I unfortunately never got the chance to take it, into a turn as quickly. But I'm guessing with a bit of suspension work or taking the turn at the right speed, it could actually tackle a corner pretty easily. And I just want to let you guys know that the reason why I'm not being so descriptive is because my brain is honestly still asleep. It's only 7:56, and I'm normally not awake until the middle of, or like when my class has been half done, which is normally around like 9:30 or so. So yeah, my brain is sort of just spazzing out right now. But anyways, before all of this, my very first car that I had, a 2000 V6 Mustang convertible. That one was a 5-speed, but it had some engine issues. but when I bought the car, I didn't know, and I was pretty much driving a ticking time bomb. And the synchronizer was going on too in the transmission, so that's why I know how to do heel toe, rev match, and double clutch rev match downshifting. But while that did last, I only had that car for a year. It was amazing. I had a Bama Tune, 91. I had all of them. I believe it was. Oh man, I don't even remember. It was street tune, race tune. And I believe it was either gas conservative or track tune, but I had mine set as 91 octane street tune, but at that time TPS Motorsports was still alive, so I actually had them modify my street tuning a little bit, because all the other tunes were just giving my engine, or were just making my engine ping and detonate in a way, so I don't want to risk that. So yeah, I had that, and I had a short shifter handle, not a short shifter, but a short shifter handle, because my sister actually gave that to me as one of my birthday gifts. Hello guys, so I am back from class now, and before this I was talking about the kind of cars that I've driven and owned, and I actually forgot two of the cars. My friend and one of the admins of Bay Area Cars, Simon, I've driven his 2008 Lexus IS 250 before. It is stanced and slammed, whichever one you want to put it. And I've driven my other friend, Anthony. He had a BMW 5 Series, 545i to be exact. And it feels very different to drive a slammed car. Obviously it's lower than mine is, and mine is lowered by 1.2 in the front and 1.4 in the back. But basically, if you were to go over any potholes and stuff, it feels much worse. And but the handling is superb. Even though I don't believe he has any sway bars. Yeah, I don't think he does. I believe he wanted mine after I part out my car and put all the stock parts back on. But yeah, I don't think he has any sway bars. He did get some accessories. He put a carbon fiber, I know it's not I believe it's a trunk lid, but yeah, he also has a rear diffuser. Yeah, so other than rear diffuser, he also does have a lip. He used to have a carbon fiber lip, but he scratched it up. But yeah, he had a carbon diffuser, he used to have a carbon fiber lip diffuser, and now he doesn't have it anymore. He switched it out, but I don't really know what kind of material it is made out of. But he also has exhaust, and I haven't quite driven his car yet after he switched out his exhaust, but based on the last time that I ever drove it, it felt actually pretty good. But like I said, on rough roads, yeah, I don't think I could get used to driving a stance car, especially with the way I still drive sometimes. But anyways, on to my friend's 545i. I only got to drive it a few times, but overall the car is awesome, being that it's an 8-cylinder. But the one thing that I don't like about the car is the shift delay or the shift lag in that car. The only time when I feel like the transmission is shifting fast enough is when you're actually shifting in sports mode. As we all know, sports mode also makes you use up more gas, even though it improves the shifting speed. The handling of that car was okay. I mean, when you went through a slight curve at slightly faster than normal speed, you can actually feel yourself carry the entire weight of the car through the turn. And for me personally, I don't really like that. I like it when my steering wheel is a little soft in a way. but that's just because BMWs overall, they're very heavy cars, even for, you know, the even for basically the 8-cylinder series, or the cars that have the 8 cylinders from their brand. Braking is awesome. Handling, like I said, it feels like you're carrying the entire weight of the car into the turn, but I did like the steering wheel grip. And the other thing that I also couldn't get used to was actually forgot the term, but when you use your signals for BMW specifically, it's just basically like a tap and it bounces back up. So sometimes what would happen to me is I would tap on one side, say I'm turning left, I would, you know, turn left, and then afterwards, if it doesn't turn off, I carefully and lightly tap it back up. But then when that happens, sometimes I end up turning on my right signal instead. So that sort of got to me as being a pain in the ass. Is there about that car? Very nice Miata. But other than signals, oh, and I like the fact how it is so spacious inside. Doesn't matter if it's, you know, the 5 Series or the 7 Series. Every time when I get into the passenger seat of this car, the entire front just looks huge. I don't know if it's the way how they designed the dashboard to give your eyes like the illusion that the entire front, or the entire front side is just spacious, like it's actually spacious, or if it's because of the way how they designed the interior to make it look spacious, but in reality it's not. Yeah, that's basically all the cars that I've driven so far in my life. So my IS, Simon's IS, my Anthony's BMW 5 Series, the WRX STI, Acura, Miata, Lotus, Mazda 6, and I'm pretty sure I'll be driving a lot more cars in the future, but you know, it's gonna take time. Would I own most of these cars that I've driven before as a daily driver? No, I would not, due to, you know, costs and, you know, costs in general. But if that weren't the case, then I would definitely go for, obviously, the Subaru WRX or the STI, the Lotus Elise, and the Mustang GT, because those cars are, you know, they're fun cars, and they can, you know, they can actually be gas efficient. But other than, and the reason why I didn't choose the BMW 545i is because I've always been fond of the M series. If I were to get one, it would definitely be the M3. Doesn't matter if it's the E90 or the E92 or the E36 or E46. You know, I'd be fine with any of them. That's why I wouldn't choose the 545i. And the Mazda 6, like I said, it's a gas-friendly car. I guess economic too, or economic friendly. Like I said, it's not really fast, but it does come in stick, which, you know, I'm surprised. But yeah, so right now I'm heading home, and turns out my friend won't be able to make it up to Alice's restaurant today, so that may or may not be the plan. In terms of today's vlog, it might be a little shorter than normal because I honestly don't think I'll be driving anymore for the rest of the day, so I'm sorry that I made this vlog so short. The video clip that I got from when I left Starbucks to when I got to school, if you guys didn't like that part, that's okay, because I was asleep and I was just waking up. I'm still sort of waking up now because, you know, I'm just really tired. I didn't get enough sleep last night, and I didn't really sleep well, to be exact. Hopefully I can get another one for you guys tomorrow. Really bad time to start vlogging because it is basically holiday season. It's Thanksgiving in a few days, and it's going to be Christmas in basically a month. And a lot of people are out of school, which means my school is almost getting on to break too. So, you know, I'll try to go for some drives. I'll try to do whatever I can to bring you guys vlogs every day. But I just want to let you guys know ahead of time that it might not be as interesting. But honestly, keep the tips up. You know, I love you guys giving me tips, especially on the BAC page. The topic that I talked about today was actually a tip or suggestion that a friend of mine gave me over Facebook. So if any of you guys have any tips or suggestions, feel free to comment down below the video in the comments section, or again, like I said, on my Facebook, if you guys are friends with me on Facebook, or on the Bay Area Cars Facebook page. So that being said, thank you for watching. If I decide to, go up to Allison's Restaurant, Highway 9, I will definitely be filming more for my vlog for today. But if not, thanks for watching. Basically, those are the cars that I would drive if it wasn't obvious already. But yeah, again, thanks for watching, and see you guys tomorrow. Turns out that I did have somewhere to go this afternoon, and whose house is this?
Sandra's.
Okay, we're at our friend Sandra's house because Alex is working on his Sunbird right now. What are you doing to the car?
Attempting to change a hose because the hose are leaking.
Yeah, so he's pretty much trying to fix up the car as best as he can, and he's currently having trouble taking off the
Header.
yeah.
Not the header, the gasket. I just want to replace this one hose. Why do you hate me?
But yeah, I think I'll do another video segment before I end today's vlog, so see you guys soon. I'm gonna end my vlog here. Alex just test fitted some rims that he might possibly purchase from his friend. They look like this.
Should I just pull the car out?
What do you mean?
I know.
But yeah, I'm gonna finish off the vlog here because I have to head back to it anyways. So yeah, see what I'm gonna do tomorrow, and there may or may not be a vlog for tomorrow, but I'm not sure yet. But as for now, yeah, that's it, guys. Thanks for watching, and hope you guys have a nice day, and see you guys later.